sitting in the back of the car. I'm getting my gear together. I've come to the Happy Gorge to do some photography. And I came today, it's Saturday, after yesterday was a glorious day, sunny, everything. I thought, I can't wait to get out and take some photos. And of course today it's raining, and I'm now, after just getting caught in the shower. The M6 Mark II is not weatherproof, so I'm toweling it off after it got a little bit frizzled on. Not enough to worry about, just a bit of a drip sprinkle, but it's not weatherproof, so I'll be a little bit careful. But I do have something really cool and exciting to show you guys today that's going to hopefully help me with my photography on this trip. So over the break, while I was busy doing not much but working from home, one thing that happened was I had my birthday. And when you have a birthday, you get presents, right? I got a lens pen from my parents, so that's the one with the little brush on this side, and the little lens cleaning soft tippy bit on the other side. These things are great. I've had them before and they're awesome. I got a new tripod. Well, I say new, it's secondhand, but I can't get it off the thing. My bag, okay, I bought a bag that's a small sling bag, which is nice and portable, but when I bought it I had almost no gear. Now I've got a little bit more gear and things don't fit as well as they used to. So I had my old flexible tripod, right? But it couldn't handle the weight of the M6 Mark II. It was really designed for cell phones and action cams or small point and shoots. So I decided that I needed a new flexible tripod, and after much research, I did what every YouTube photographer vlogger did, and I bought a Joby Gorillapod. Now this one here, if I can be so bold as to sit back a little bit and make some room for myself, this particular one is the Focus. Now the Focus is an older model. It's the same size as the 5K, except the legs are made from, I believe it's aluminium and magnesium, something along those lines. It's at least aluminium anyway, I know that much. But it's still nice and light, it doesn't weigh anything. But I'm hoping that the metal is going to be a little bit more durable than the plastic of the sort of 5K model. Now, I know some people will be sitting there going, why did you go for something so large? You've got a mirrorless camera. The M6 Mark II doesn't weigh a lot, and these things are built for like 5 kgs, where the 3K Pro, for example, would be metal legs too, and smaller, more compact. Well, I did want something with a bit more height. I did look at the 3K and thought it was a little bit smaller than I wanted, because it's basically my main tripod. I'm not really running around with a full-size tripod. It allows me to wrap it around larger things like posts and tree trunks and things. But also, a big part of it was the fact that this was, at the time, the only Gorillapod being sold second-hand on Trade Me, which is like eBay, but in New Zealand we have our own sort of online selling thing called Trade Me. When I got it, it didn't come with a ball head, so I went online to see what I could find, and the ball head that I found for this thing is the Sirui, did I get that right? Sirui, sorry, the Sirui. I always get the U and the R around the wrong way when I say it for some reason, but the Sirui, I can't even remember the code or number on it. Anyway, I'll link it below. This thing is great. It can take 5 kgs, and unlike my old my old flexible tripod, when I've got the camera on here, there we go, one that's got an Arca Swiss type style quick plate thingy clamp, but also it's got the big lens on it, right, the 16mm lens, the heavy prime Sigma, and I can shake that and it doesn't move at all. In fact, the tripod's going to bend before the ball head, so whereas before my old one, I would just give it a flick and it would just go whoop. It was pretty bad. I don't have it here to show you because I don't really carry it anymore. The other thing that I did is I fixed the major flaw on the M6 Mark II, which is that it has a flip-up screen, right? So with a flip up screen, obviously I can't put my microphone on the top without completely blocking the screen and making that impossible to see. So what I did is I have, and can you see that there? I have this, it's not going to focus on it, is it? Out of focus as it may be, I have here these, I'll put it next to my face, the small rig little L bracket that puts a cold shoe over on the side. This is designed for the M6 Mark II, so I can still open up the little flap for accessing my input for my mic. It fits perfectly, and I looked at full cages, and the one thing about the full cage is I didn't want something so large that covered the whole of the camera and bulked up the camera. I like this camera for its compact nature. I didn't want too much bulk. I just wanted to move the hot shoe or the cold shoe for the so I could fit my video mic, and this allows me 2 slots to mount it. So not only can I mount it if I grab my video mic on the side like this, I can also mount it under, well, not underneath now because I've got the knob for the clamp here, which wasn't very smart. So now that I've switched that around, I can actually put the mic underneath. It's not perfect because it does contact the side of the tripod, so, but in a pinch I can do this, and oh heck, where's it gone? Oh, I found it. Okay, and the other thing is my video light. So if I'm on the go, here we go. Now this is obviously overkill, but technically speaking, oh geez, exposure please. Hello, can I have some exposure on my face? There we go. Okay, this is a massive overkill of a rig, but as you can see, I have the camera, the microphone down the bottom, and my full-size video light here, the Yongyo, on the side. So I can actually have a full video rig and carry this around with me, and yeah, I can have the screen up too. I'd negate the screen traditionally and I'd put the light on the top. If I was going to use a video light, I would just have to make that work rather than put it on the side. But if I needed to put it all together, it is quite possible to do. So it's nice to have that versatility. So this ball head, like I said, is can take a lot of weight. It's nice and strong to take 4 kgs, but it also has the panning thing too. So we've got this other knob. So we've got one knob on the side here which controls the actual ball head tilt, and then this little knob here on the side allows you to very smoothly pan, and that's going to be great for just, you know, lining up panning shots and things like that, and keeping it on the tripod. But for me, this little rig is the perfect little rig. This little Joby combined with this robust and solid ball head, I think is a great combination, to the point where I would recommend, if you're looking at buying a Gorillapod for whatever reason, I would recommend buying it without the ball head, because the ball heads are okay. Like if you get the 5K or the Pro, you get an Arc Swiss style plate, but I just feel that this, for a small form factor plate, and the strength of this ball head, I just think it's a much better combination for building the ultimate Gorillapod. Plus there's no red in sight. Not that I've got a problem with red, but I like the nice black nature. After talking that up and talking about how I love how this is all nice and black and grey and not too gaudy and standoutish, I also have another travel tripod which I'm using right now. Okay, so I've swapped the cameras, the tripods over. So the other tripod that I bought myself was again, because I was so impressed with the ball head that I bought for the Gorillapod, the Sirui, this little thing here, this little travel tripod. I forget the code of it. Oh, here we go. It's the 3T-15B. Exciting name. But this little thing, I've had a little plastic travel tripod like this for a while, and it's one of the most used. If I'm going vlogging, I can just quite simply lock the camera on to the tripod, and this is all I really need, this little tripod for vlogging. I can tilt the ball head towards me, hold it at an angle. When you get to a cafe or something, you can just stand it up on the table. It does go flatter as well, so you turn the little dial underneath and you can flatten out the legs, place it on the table, no problem. But it's the same ball head, exact same ball head as what I've got on the Joby Gorillapod, which I just showed you. So compatible plate, awesome. Same ball head, still 5 kgs weight. This little tripod is rated for 5 kgs as well, but just a little bit more compact. But what I use this for the most is actually for a B camera sort of scenario. So more when I'm filming on my Osmo Pocket, as I am now, and as I was previously before I need to show you this tripod. This little tripod's perfect for the Osmo, that I can just use the spare plate with the Osmo, clamp it into place, and then I can stick the Osmo wherever I like, and it's got a nice stable platform. It's not going to fall over and carry it around. But with this being rated at that higher level of weight, I can swap my cameras around no problem, and later on if I get a larger camera it'll do that. But it's compact, it fits in your pocket. It doesn't just fit in your pocket, it actually came with its own little carry case. So it's got this little bag that this goes into, plenty of room in here for other accessories too. So I was actually carrying this with the accessories like the Osmo Pocket, well, the Osmo Pocket itself, plus also the little clamps and things I use to mount it to the oh, what am I sitting on? Ow. Yeah, I was able to carry the Osmo Pocket and the little mini tripod, which is about half the size of the Joby, in this little bag. So I could really just take this little bag out with the Osmo, and I've got a nice little handy strap that goes over my wrist and has everything I need to go vlogging. Like for a small compact day trip out and about in a city, instead of taking all of this with me, I can just take this and have everything I need in this little pouch. There we go. I don't know if you can see this, but there's these little slots here on the side. Those are there because, if I put it down for a second, one other accessory that you get is a little strap. This little strap, there we go, I'm going to regret pulling this out because I don't want. You've got three straps in total, so you can use all three to clamp each leg to something. But the idea is that you thread this through the legs. You can stick this on a handrail or something, thread this through the legs like this. Here we go, through that leg, through this leg, and around whatever you're putting it around. And then ultimately it's just got a simple clamp mechanism on the side. So you just poke the end through here and clamp it shut to lock it into place. So where the Joby's strength is in its flexible legs, that it can wrap around things and grip onto things, these little straps that come with this little Sirui tripod, it allows you to tie it down to things so that you can again secure it to branches or poles or anything like that. So if you're doing, say, if you need some extra height and you're clamping it to a lamp post to get extra height, you can actually tie it on nice and securely and still get that benefit of the tiny tripod and get those longer exposures or self-portraits or the like. So yeah, so the 1-2 punch of the Joby and that little tripod is great. If I had to just choose one though, if I was going on a trip, it would be very hard to choose which, and I had to just only take one. It would be very hard to choose which one. I think I might actually just take the small Sirui rather. It's big. I keep losing everything the second I put it down, just because of its compact nature, the fact that it can just slip into my pocket. The Joby, I would have to carry it around with me or have it in a bag, and as I said, with that little pouch I can fit not only the tripod in here, it's a soft pouch on the inside, but I can also fit my Osmo Pocket, so I could just take this with me in my carry-on, and that's my entire vlogging kit, and able to take some pretty decent photos, although not quite the same quality as the proper camera, but for just a point and shoot around the city day trip, it's perfect. This little thing's great. So those are my purchases anyway. So if you're looking at travel tripods, I do recommend something like, look at something like this. It might look too small to begin with, but honestly, I use my old plastic version. I'm quite happy to have this nice strong one. I've been using that more than I've used my Gorillapod the whole time I have it. And by the way, it just unscrews. So if you've got a small monopod, you can always connect a monopod. Actually, I can show you. I now have, oh, can you see that? that's a fair bit of distance there for height extension. Like that's a very comfortable distance. So you can actually add quite a bit to it with a monopod, and then just extend it up a little bit. I probably wouldn't go much higher than that. It's just going to topple over eventually. But for that little bit extra height or reach, if I needed an extra long selfie stick, that works perfectly, brilliantly. So it's quite more versatile than you might think if you're just looking at it and thinking, well, that's a tiny tripod. What use would that be to anybody? I guess that's a little travel tripod video for you. It wasn't really planned that way, but that's how it is in the back of the car, because it's raining outside. In fact, it looks like it's clearing up, so we might be able to get out and do some videos now, which is awesome. I'm quite excited about the prospect of actually doing some photography now. So it stopped raining. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you really, really soon. I'm going to go take some photos. See you later.